Welcome to Our Own Voice, a partnership in mental health awareness in cooperation with NAMI Wichita and KSUN Community Radio. NAMI is a national alliance on mental illness. We are the largest grassroots advocacy network for people with mental illness and their family members, with over 800 national affiliates and 15 Kansas affiliates, with NAMI Wichita being one of those 15. We provide awareness, support, education, and advocacy for people affected by mental illness. Our purpose here is to provide a community conversation on KSUN Radio that gives insight into what it's like to live with a mental illness. Our intention and our hope is that our program will change attitudes, assumptions, and stereotypes about people with mental health conditions. My name is David Larson. I am very pleased and proud to be your host today, and I am a person living with mental illness. I am in recovery for major depressive disorder. Like everyone, I struggle with the ups and downs of emotions and the challenges of being fully human, but I am doing okay, and I know I have many gifts to offer my family, my friends, and my community. And it is my pleasure to introduce our guest for today, Alleshia. Hello, Alleshia.
Hello.
So how are you doing today, Alleshia?
Doing great.
Good. Well, let's start the questions off by asking you, where did you grow up?
I grew up in Sterling, Kansas.
Okay.
A little over an hour from here.
And did you graduate from high school there?
Yes.
What is their mascot?
The Black Bears.
The Black Bears.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not brown?
Because I don't know. It was a lot easier to find a wardrobe, though, for all of our concerts and everything, because you always wear the school
Black.
colors, and it was black and white.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh, I like that, yeah.
So I know one thing about Sterling, and that is that they have bagpipes at their college.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So do you enjoy bagpipes?
I guess as much as anyone else does.
That can be a challenging.
I do remember they would always have, I worked for the college when I was in high school, and they always had a big dinner, and they would do the bagpipes and serve, I think, haggis and
yeah.
drinks, and I remember that every year we would do that. And it was
So
a big
what's the
deal.
Scottish connection then?
I
Do we
honestly
know?
have no idea.
I have no idea. I just know about bagpipes. So
We should
So-
just ask the audience. So if you're an alumni of that particular university or know the area or can explain to us why they have a love of bagpipes,
please call or write
please
in.
let us know.
Yeah.
But do not call the number that we're going to be saying
Yeah.
later.
Right, exactly. So, okay, well, so high school mascot, where did you go from graduating from high school?
I went to Hutchinson Community College, got my associates, and I went to Emporia State University, got my bachelor's degree in sociology,
So that
and
means
then I came back home.
that means she's a blue dragon
Yep.
and a hornet.
Yes. Wow.
Wow, you're good. Wow, I don't know these mascots.
I know.
I don't either.
These guys know them, but I don't know.
We've come to know and understand and love some of the mascots.
That's great. That's fantastic.
And
Well,
dislike some of them also.
Oh, well, too. That's too. And we hope some of them die. No. I'm being facetious. That's not really what I think.
yeah. So you came to Wichita, and you started working at
Breakthrough.
Club,
Yeah.
and you are one of the few employees that they have there, because they have employees, but they also have all the members who
Right.
help around, right? And so you get to sort of oversee them in what field right now?
So I work in the kitchen, and we work side by side. The idea is that the clubhouse should not be able to function without the members. So there shouldn't be, like you said, there aren't very many staff, because there shouldn't be so many staff that we could get it all done without members, because members are important, and being active is important in
Okay.
recovery.
Now you know from other experience, you have friends who have mental illness or whatever, right?
Yes.
And so you know some of the complications that mental illness
Sure.
creates in people's lives.
Sure.
Okay, so that helps you in your work with Breakthrough.
Sure.
Okay, so now you haven't always been in the kitchen.
No.
You
No.
started out in another field. What was that?
So I started in our hospice agency, which is well, now it's called Breakthrough. It used to be Episcopal Social Services. And I started in the payee program where we're managing Social Security income for persons on Social Security disability or veterans benefits. So a mixture of folks who might struggle with mental illness or cognitive impairment or a physical disability who just can't manage their funds. And I also I've worked in employment, helping folks get a job who are looking for a job, who've been diagnosed with a disability.
And so how many different jobs have you had in Breakthrough?
Well, gosh, a lot of times you play more than one role at the same time.
Okay.
So at one point, my title was just program coordinator, so I could kind of move here and there if needed and fill in because we're all really fluid. Maybe if you summed up the transitions, a total of 3 probably major transitions.
Well, I am going to take a moment to offer a quick thank you to our production team, David Peterson, executive producer. Thank you, David.
Thank you.
And Mike Padilla, our technical producer. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
And this is Our Own Voice on KSUN Community Radio. We are going to take a quick break, and we will be right back. Welcome back to Our Own Voice, a partnership in mental health awareness in cooperation with NAMI Wichita and KSUN Community Radio. NAMI is a national alliance on mental illness. Our Own Voice is intended to humanize a misunderstood, highly stigmatized topic of mental illness by showing that it's possible and common to live with a mental health condition. Now, Alleshia, so let me throw at you that topic of stigma, all right? Do you have any stigma when it comes to telling people where you work, for instance?
I think once I explain, because most of the time people are like, well, what is that? What is Breakthrough Club or what is Breakthrough? Once I explain it, people think it would be really hard to work there. Isn't that hard? But they don't really think about that we're all together and we're working together and it's actually really fun. Most of the time, people are doing well, and even on the rough day, it's just about connecting with another human being, which I have to do. I can't be by myself, so it just comes naturally.
Okay, and see, you realize something that those of us with mental illness have to discover or rediscover, and that is that being around people helps with building that serotonin in the brain to give us a proper chemical cocktail so that we are feeling better.
Right.
Yeah.
Isolation doesn't help.
Isolation does not help. No, it doesn't.
While you're on stigma, I have to admit that Breakthrough Club is one of the most stigma-free places.
Yeah,
there is.
You have said that, and I have witnessed that firsthand. That's very, very true. So let's expand a bit more on your cooking. All right.
Okay.
You were telling me during the break about someone who's going to come in and prepare one of their family dishes. So what do you do?
So because the clubhouse is about engaging members in whatever work is involved in Breakthrough Club, while my job is kitchen coordinator and I'm responsible for making sure the kitchen is running, the idea is engaging other members. So one of the ways that we engage is that members can bring in any recipe, whether it's something they like to cook or it's something that their mom cooked and they don't even know how. And I help with the multiplying of that recipe and preparing of it so that they can share with the other people in the clubhouse that day their recipe that they wanted to share, or a certain food that they enjoy, or maybe something they're curious about and just haven't been able to cook.
Okay, that's amazing. So now you're going to be going into work tonight.
Yes.
And why tonight? Because that's strange that you're going to be working tonight.
So the clubhouse is about recovery, and we talked about not isolating. Part of that is to maintain social interaction, and part of being a community is being involved in all of that. So we are open on Monday evenings and Thursday evenings for social activities. We are open major holidays so that we are together as a community for holidays. And so all the staff are involved in that, in the different socials and holidays as well.
Okay.
So tonight I think we're playing games. I don't know.
Okay, but you're dealing with the food, snacks, and things. Or
But
maybe
part
not.
of the clubhouse, so just because I am technically the kitchen coordinator doesn't mean I don't do everything. So social is an
Okay.
example of that.
She does everything.
So I might be helping with, well, I'll definitely be sitting down and playing games if it is game night. Then I'll be participating in whatever activity is, because the idea is we're all getting together. We serve a meal, we do serve dinner, so we do that all together as a group, and then we sit down and do our social, and then we travel home as a group, and everybody is equal and active.
Okay, so what happens at home when this is all happening and you're at the social? Because you do have a home life.
Yes. So
So well, I guess what I'm getting at is, how about you say hello, a shout out to your husband, to your children, to your dog?
yeah, so my kiddos, Jax and Tyson, they're pretty little, so I doubt they're listening to the radio. And then Andrew, and our dog is Buddy. So.
Okay, awesome.
And this is taped, so
Yeah.
they can
Yeah.
hear it at a later
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
And
So
of the three, Buddy is the only one who recognizes her master's voice.
well, so let's expand now on the whole topic of payee. What
Sure.
exactly does that entail, and what does it mean to be a payee?
Okay. Representative Payee Services is a service provided to folks who are receiving Social Security benefits. There's also the veterans. They have a different term for it, but it's essentially the same thing. You manage income for someone who has been unable to manage their income due to disability or the aging process. So we actually, Breakthrough is the largest provider in the state. So I don't know the numbers now. When I started, we were managing income for, I think, about 240 people. I think we're pushing about 500 now. The need just grows and grows.
Wow, that is amazing.
And what's special about Breakthrough as a provider is that we offer to meet with folks on a weekly basis if they desire to discuss with them their income. So we want them to be involved even though they don't have that essential control over it, but make sure that their financial needs are met.
Okay, wonderful. Well, this is Our Own Voice on KSUN Community Radio. We are talking with Alleshia about mental illness and her work, and we are going to take a quick break, and we will be right back.
If you would like to learn more about the National Alliance on Mental Illness and how you can get involved in mental health advocacy, please visit our website at NAMI.org.
Welcome back to Our Own Voice, a partnership in mental health awareness in cooperation with NAMI Wichita and KSUN Community Radio. NAMI is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. Now, Alleshia, during the break, we were talking about all sorts of things, and we asked the question to you, and so we're going to pose the same question now. What is the age range of people at Breakthrough Club?
It could be any age once you become an adult. So through your whole life, you can be once a member, always a member.
So it's 18 on up, and I know I can't remember how old she is, but we interviewed someone here who is
Wasn't she about 80 years old?
yeah, she's like 80, but she is a youthful person. So I say that she's the oldest and youngest, type thing.
And then the youngest we had was the one. I'm not going to say any names, but the one girl whose mother introduced her to Breakthrough, and now she's the one who always says, "We got to go to Breakthrough. We got to go to Breakthrough."
Yeah.
And she's young. She was in her early 20s.
Yeah.
So
I always think it's fun when you get to see more than one generation. So
Yeah.
the parent and then the child come and get to know the clubhouse and then decide to become a member.
Well, let's talk about that. What is the process involved in becoming a member at Breakthrough?
So you have to have been diagnosed with severe and persistent mental illness. Once that is verified, you turn in your application. Once that's verified, and you do orientation, and then essentially that's it. You're always a member, no matter if you haven't been there for 5 years or if you come in every day.
Okay. And now I was mentioning during break that recovery is not a destination but a process, and that people who are going through mental illness go into recovery sometimes. Sometimes they have relapses. Sometimes they can then go back into recovery. So what does that look like working with people of all age ranges and recovery and out of recovery and crisis and things like that?
So it doesn't really matter where you're at in recovery. You may have just exited the hospital. You may have be needing to seek some help, and maybe in crisis, sometimes people will walk into the building and they just say, I'm overwhelmed with my symptoms right now, and somebody will help them walk over to crisis because we're pretty close to crisis. It doesn't matter which stage of recovery you're in. You're always a member. So,
okay, well, that's wonderful. So, so what else can we say about Breakthrough Club? Help me out here, guys. What else can we ask?
I want to emphasize the payee program again.
Okay.
I have a personal experience with that, and it sets a standard, or makes things so much better when somebody is taking care of your loved one's finances.
yeah.
And you don't have to worry about it, and they probably could not take care of it themselves. They wouldn't have money for rent or whatever. And the payee program enables them to have a stability in their financial world.
Well, and a good point that you're making is that it's good to know that it's taken care of, that their loved ones know it's taken care of. I know personally and professionally how hard it is to be a family member who is trying to take care of all those technical needs of knowing your finances are taken care of, knowing their medical is taken care of, all those other things are taken care of. And sometimes you need to just be able to be a family member and a loved one.
Thank you.
And that's something that payee can take a portion of that. And their finances are taken care of, and money is such a hot topic that someone else is taking on that duty so that you just get to be a loved one for at least in that place in their life.
I could not be a payee for my son. That just would not work.
Yeah, but yet you have a payee for your son, and the payee manages all the bills, all the finances, and
The Social Security paperwork that gets
Okay.
confusing.
That's such a stress-relieving situation to
Right.
be
Yes.
in, right?
yeah, just managing the Social
Right.
Security paperwork, that in itself can be mind-boggling.
Right.
Yeah. So, well, David, I'm going to jump over to you and ask you to give us that wonderful number. This is not the number to call for if you have that answer to the question of why Sterling is associated with Scottish people, but this is the number for getting contacted with NAMI. So, what is that number?
Correct. And that number is 316-686-1373. One more time, it's 316-686-1373. And that is our... nobody will answer that. That is, you leave a message, and we'll get back with you as soon as possible.
Okay. So, let's see here. I'm trying to think of other things to do.
Well,
I'm gonna give
you've
a
done well. I mean,
Yeah,
Well, thank you.
And
so
next
far.
segment, I want to give a commercial. So.
Okay, good. You can give a commercial in the next segment, but
But I frown on the use of the word commercial because we're a non-commercial station.
this is true. This is very true.
So-
but nonetheless, it's still something that we're going to talk about in the next segment. But until then, this is Our Own Voice on KSN Community Radio, and we will be right back. Welcome back to Our Own Voice, a partnership in mental health awareness in cooperation with NAMI Wichita and KSUN Community Radio. NAMI is a national alliance on mental illness. Now, David, before the break, I was able to ask you what that wonderful number is, and I'm going to ask you to give that number again and unpack it for us so that the listeners understand why we're giving it.
I certainly will, but at first I want to mention that this beautiful intro music is composed by our own David Larson,
Thank
our
you.
host, and
Thank you very much.
It's
It
so
really-
soothing. I like that.
It
really
is
is
soothing.
soothing.
But that number is 316-686-1373, 316-686-1373, and don't call that if you're in a crisis. Call 911. But if you have a family member that is going through a crisis, you might want to call us, and we will try to provide as much support as we possibly can. And that is NAMI's goal, is basically to provide support for not only those family members who have someone in crisis, but also the ones that are going through the crisis themselves. And we feel that we have a well-balanced organization that is strictly volunteer, and it's a nonprofit organization, and we want to give back, basically. We've all gotten something from NAMI, and we want to give back, whether it's in our classes, which we provide at no cost. We have family-to-family classes, which gives a lot better understanding what your loved one is going through. We have peer-to-peer classes, which gives those with a mental illness an opportunity to learn a little bit more about what they're going through. And we have support groups, and we just have a wide variety, and it all comes down to support, and that's what we want to do. And we also have a doctor's hour on every third Tuesday of the month, and that is well attended. And we have a resident psychiatrist come in, and they will answer just about any question. And we welcome people to come to this and learn. And again, there's no charge for any of these.
Yeah, it's a wonderful learning experience, a growing experience, and it's just tremendous. And speaking of other growing experiences, back to Breakthrough Club. Something that I heard, and I don't know whether it was Mike or you or who said it, but the person is a member, not a client there, right?
Right.
And
So
that changes how they think.
Right. So it changes how staff thinks. It changes how the whole building thinks, because they're not there for a service. So we can't tell someone what to do because they're a member. They are part of it. They're a part of every stage of the clubhouse functioning. So they can attend any meeting. They can attend board meetings. They are involved in the decision making. So that changes. It helps with recovery to be valued and to be active in it. And you're asked and invited to do anything from take out the trash to help with reaching out to members who haven't been able to come in, to writing thank you cards to legislators for hearing our stories and participating. And it takes out the obligation. Everybody's there because they want to. So it's not no attendance policy or anything like that.
Yeah, because like you said, I think before already that people can come and go at their own choice, and sometimes they may be away for a while, but then they will discover again that they need this. They need to be
Right.
surrounded by people.
Yeah, we all get busy in life. So maybe somebody started a job and then they're not coming in for a while because they're busy working and they're busy with their families. And then all of a sudden something's going on, and they just feel that need for a community, or a holiday comes up and they may come in for the holiday to reconnect. It might be even years. Maybe they moved away from the area and they come back and they automatically have somewhere, a community and support. It doesn't matter how
Okay.
long.
Yeah, and you mentioned that during the holidays, you have events for people.
Right, right. We're a community, so we celebrate as a community.
Yeah, I know we've had several people on here from Breakthrough who have said that Breakthrough is their family because they are able to experience a more familial bond with the people there than they do with their regular family, wherever their family is.
Right.
So,
Because no man is an island.
that's right.
Right.
That's right. And because of that, people need to understand that isolation is bad. You need to step out of that shell and seek help, seek membership in Breakthrough, seek what you can.
Right.
So
And it doesn't matter how much you're able to do, like we were talking about where you're in recovery. Someone from WebEx with Fountain House, which is the originating house, clubhouse, and someone there had said it doesn't matter if all someone can do is walk around and water the plants that day. They're there and they're doing something. And so that may develop into being able to do more things. It doesn't matter what stage you're in. You just go there and find something. And
Yeah.
everybody's niche is something else. So somebody might always want to do the cleaning. Somebody might want to do more technical things like helping with the newsletter. It doesn't matter what you want to do. You can be there and doing something.
excellent. Well, thank you for joining us for Our Own Voice on KSUN Community Radio. Thank you to Alleshia for talking with us about mental illness and her work with Breakthrough Club. Join us for our next Our Own Voice program.